Hi, everybody. This is Norm Duvet with Copa Health. I am so glad that you're here with us this week. It is February 11th. Yes, today is my brother's birthday. So if any of you here in Arizona happen to run across my brother who lives in Iowa, JD, just go ahead and say happy birthday to him. He was actually 11 months younger than me. So happy birthday to my brother. Hey, we have got a great guest on today. Last week, we were celebrating and talking about the music of Black History Month. And we also know that February is Heart Health Month. And we here at Copa Health are lucky enough to have a representative on the American Heart Association's Go Red Committee. And that person is our Corporate Compliance Risk Management Vice President. She doesn't like me saying all of it because it's a mouthful, but Latrice Hickman. Latrice, how are you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me, and happy birthday to your brother, JD.
Yes. You know, it's interesting because I mentioned him last week too, because Ken was talking about the fact that Ken is a musician, and I mentioned my nephew who plays like 7 instruments, and so I had to call my brother up and say, "Hey, I mentioned you this week on the Copa Roundup. You got to follow us." So, so Latrice, you have been, part of the committee for a while now over at the American Heart Association, and I know that they've got some fantastic information out on their website, and we'll put that on at the end of the Copa Roundup. But tell me a little bit about why heart health is so important and why we celebrate it, and specifically, and I know that this is important because I know it's important for men, but specifically, a lot of people don't understand that one of the number one or one of the top killers of women is also heart disease.
Yes, that's correct. It is called one of the silent killers allowed for blood pressure as well. Women tend to be nurturers, and we are working, taking care of our family, our loved ones. So we play multiple roles and take care of everyone else so much that we often forget about how important it is to take care of ourselves. And so it impacts women in a disparate proportion, especially in communities that may not have access to care as prevalent or healthy foods or have the opportunity to maintain a healthier lifestyle. This is important to me as I've had quite a few loved ones that have had heart attacks that unfortunately have passed away. Heart disease runs in my family. And surprisingly enough, as a little girl, just working and going to school, helping to support my family, I didn't learn how important it was to have healthier choices of food to eat and to actually make a target effort to incorporate exercise into my daily lifestyle. I didn't learn that until I became an adult, well into my mid-20s.
Well, it's interesting because of my time here at Copa Health and my time working in the field that we work in, I've learned so much about the social determinants of health. And it's not just access to medical care; it's access to healthy food, it's access to information. So, how does that? And by the way, it's so many more things. It's where you live, the zip code you live in. Some zip codes have much easier access to some of the things that many of us take for granted. But Latrice, when we're talking about that, and you said you didn't learn about it until you were an adult, what would you say to people if they are a mom, whether it's a mom and a dad or a single mom raising a daughter or a son? What would you tell them about the things that they have to do to take care of themselves when it comes to the heart?
The first thing I would say is never think that you're alone. There's tons of information and people are happy to share it with you. That to get in contact with your medical care professional and never think that it's too early for you to worry about heart disease. And if you're a parent, especially, you want to be around to help care for your family and your loved ones. So often that means is you can't put yourself at the end of the list. You have to put yourself at the top of the list, at least when it comes to taking care of your health. But you're never too young to worry about heart disease. Most people believe that it affects folks later in life, but it can be early as childhood and adolescence where plaque starts to accumulate in the arteries, and it can lead to clogged arteries. So the first thing is you're never too young to worry about it. You must put yourself first so you can care for your family, and contact your medical professional to get your test to see if your blood pressure is high, to look at what your cholesterol levels are, and really look at how you can make some simple changes to your daily lifestyle.
Yeah, I like that so much because so many times in my life, personally, I've experienced, or others that I had known have experienced things that they assume are just diseases for people who are older, or conditions that are for people that are older. But it starts with good decisions when you're young. It starts with healthy habits when you're young. And I know that, speaking with you, that's something that's very important.
Yes, most definitely. Just simple things that people don't take for they take for granted. Even the amount of stress that you have or things that you're working through the day. People think of working out and making healthy decisions as far as weight and obesity, and that is also a contributing factor. But the stress that people have in their day-to-day lives, especially now during the pandemic, it is something that is challenging. And people have a lot of tools just simply on the internet and through their phone that they can have support and get help, and they don't have to navigate these strange spaces alone.
Yeah, and I have to say that my good friend Michelle Spear, who is the Copa Health employee health and wellness person, was on a couple weeks ago talking about stress and how important it is to have things to help you avoid stress or to release some tension. And I was talking to her earlier today about the fact that working out for me has really made a difference with sleep and how important that is. So Latrice, the American Heart Association, we have all heard of it. Many of us have heard of the Go Red for Women effort and the stuff that they do. I've been to their conferences. I've been to their lunches. I know that Linda, who is with me in the marketing department, has been part of that too. But what are some of the things that the American Heart Association and specifically maybe Go Red for Women, like to promote and
So we
really
like to, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Norm.
go ahead.
We
Tell
have
me.
currently have a few campaigns, Teen of Impact, as well as a Woman of Impact, to really look at how we spread awareness about cardiovascular disease and some of the simple preventative measures that people can take now, being younger or even at any point in their life, to be informed and spread awareness. So the impact of change really happens when people are talking, when they are raising dollars to help support some of this crucial research that impacts us all, and to spread awareness throughout the community.
Well, I'll tell you, I really appreciate you. Heart disease runs in my family. My dad has had problems with his heart for the last 18, 19 years. It's been pretty serious. And so I look at my brother, I look at my sister, I look at, my nieces and nephews and all the people around me, and I worry about whether or not they're making the healthy choices, whether or not I'm making the healthy choices. And, when I talk to you, Latrice, I'm always so uplifted because you're such a positive person. But do you feel like there's enough being done to get the message out?
I think we can do more, especially now with social media and me being a part of the Go Red for Women campaigns and having the wonderful presenters that they do that share their stories. The face of cardiovascular disease or stroke or any heart health issues is not the face that people think it is. It's very diverse. It's diverse in socioeconomic background. It's diverse in age. It's diverse in any realm that you could think of, that it would not look like you think it looks like. So it could easily be myself, it could be you, it could be any individual that we know. Does not matter the age. And so I really want that message. That's more that we could do to see the faces of individuals who have experienced some of these life-altering impacts that happen because of cardiovascular disease, that they look just like us. It's not an older person. It's not someone already ill or in the hospital, that it's someone that you sit next to or look at every day. And I'd like for us to be able to share those stories more substantially in social media, so people can be comfortable with asking questions and going to their medical care professionals to seek how they can help prevent some of these things and make small lifestyle changes.
Well, I'll tell you what, Latrice, I'm going to make sure that I get the website from you. I'm going to make sure that I get some links to social media accounts, and I'm going to make sure that Linda Torkelson and I work on trying to spread the news for you, because I'm selfish. I am a very selfish person. I will say, you can laugh, but I'm going to say it. I am selfish. I want you around for a long time. I want the people that I work with around for a long time. And I want my family and friends, and I want everybody around for a long time. So being selfish like that, I'm going to try to help get the word out a little bit more.
Well, thank you. And I will tell you the website is www.heart.org.
All right, www.heart.org. I'm going to make sure that that's listed out at the end of the Copa Roundup today. And if there's anything else that people need to know, I'm going to ask them to be able to send me emails or you emails, to get information on that. But so I know that life is a struggle for so many people right now because of COVID-19, and then you start throwing in all the other things that we have in our life that are, causing stress. But how are you doing these days?
I'm doing pretty well right now. There's a lot of things going on with the pandemic. I found what works for me is exercise, quite a bit of rest, and decompressing from some of the bombardment of social media and just sensory stimulation that doesn't necessarily bode well for my health. So I think having time with my friends, family, and loved ones, even if it's just simple phone calls or reading a book, that does help me a lot.
Well, thank you so much, Latrice. Hey, that is it for our Copa Roundup this week. And I really do appreciate you being on, Latrice. I know that you're taking time out of your schedule to, be with us today.
Well, thank you. I'm very happy and pleased to talk about heart health and look forward to any conversation that you'd like to invite me back to. So thank you.
Well, we are going to have you back soon because I just miss seeing you. I love having you on. I love talking to you about things. But so everybody, that is it for this week. Just remember that there is so much going on in our lives right now. Of course, COVID-19 seems to be just ruling the airwaves when it comes to news, but the flu is out there. The cold is out. Having a cold is out there. I was suffering from allergies a while back. I crossed my fingers because I haven't been, sick with anything else this year. But try to take care of yourselves and try to find ways to help other people too, whether it's encouraging them to get vaccinated, whether it's with the COVID-19 vaccination or the flu, or asking them how they're doing. Sometimes I think people just need to know that we care about each other. And sometimes, just sitting there in silence isn't getting that message across. So we will see you all next week. It is going to be February 18th, which is, seems like it shouldn't be that far into the month. But as I talked about last week, February is a short month. So we will see you all again on February 18th. Take care.